A text is left unread. Marcus watches the screen, heart pacing, even though it's well past midnight. The room around him is dark, save for the blue glow of the phone on his hand. Every few seconds he checks it again. No reply. Just silence. And in that silence, a strange tension builds. Not just disappointment, not quite anger. Something more familiar. The aching echo of waiting. He's been here before. Not just this moment, but this pattern. Giving, checking, hoping. He can recall versions of this scene from past relationships, when he'd try just a bit harder, write longer messages, make more plans, only to feel the slow drift of interest from the other side. He always thought that if he just found the right words, the right moment, maybe it would turn. Tonight, she canceled again. Last minute. No real explanation. Just a vague, "Sorry, got busy," followed by a few emojis. The worst part wasn't the flaking. It was what happened inside him after. The way his mind reached for reasons, scrambled for clues. Maybe she was testing him. Maybe she was just bad at texting. Maybe he was too available, too boring. Not enough. He gets up, paces. The night city outside buzzes faintly, tires on wet pavement, the hum of distant traffic. His phone is still in his hand. He opens her profile, then closes it. Opens it again. His thumb hovers over the message box. Downstairs, there's a small bookstore still open. On impulse, he grabs his jacket and leaves the apartment. The bookstore is warm, quiet. A bell chimes gently as he walks in. Inside, the air smells like old paper and something herbal. Tea, maybe. He browses without seeing anything until a single title draws his eye. The Art of Living, a quote by Epictetus on the cover. Something about it makes him pause. He flips it open. The page reads, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He closes the book slowly. That sentence doesn't soothe him. It confronts him. Like a cold wind through a cracked window, it rushes in, not with comfort, but with clarity. How much of his time is spent trying to get someone to feel something for him, to reply, to commit? How much of his own peace has he handed away to people who never even asked for it? The thought stings, but beneath that sting, a small ember lights. He walks home slower than usual, doesn't check his phone. Back at his apartment, he doesn't sit on the couch, doesn't start another internal trial about what to say or whether to wait. Instead, he opens his messages one last time. He reads their thread, all of it. The warmth, the pull, the withdrawal. It had become a map of his own descent into need. He holds his breath and deletes the entire conversation. A strange quiet fills the room. He sets the phone down, not face up, but flipped over. Then he whispers to no one, and yet completely to himself. Start over. Marcus wakes with a start. In the dream, she was laughing, tilting her head back, eyes locked with someone else's. Not him. Someone taller, louder, the kind of man Marcus never tried to be but often felt compared to. The image lingers in the half-light of dawn. He sits up, heart still echoing the loss, even though it wasn't real. But the feeling is. He stands, pulls on a sweatshirt, and goes to the window. The city is misted in gray. Rain has fallen through the night, and the streets glisten, quiet and slick. Somewhere far off, a bus exhales at a stop. A delivery truck beeps in reverse. His phone buzzes, group chat from work. Someone cracked a joke. He scrolls past, then scrolls further to old messages. His finger hovers above her name. Again. He doesn't tap. Instead, he closes the app, opens his notes, and writes, "I wanted to text her. I wanted to say, did I do something wrong? But I didn't. I just sat here. It hurts." He exhales sharply. The journal is new, just started last week, after the bookstore. He made a deal with himself. Every time he felt the urge to reach out, he'd write instead. Not to pretend he didn't care, but to redirect the energy inward, to trace the pain back to its root. It's not her silence that hurts. It's the story he writes when she's silent, that he's not enough, that he's being replaced, that his worth depends on her reply. At lunch, a coworker makes a casual jab. "Man, you care too much. That's your problem." They're joking, but not really. Marcus smiles faintly, doesn't respond. That evening, he walks. No destination. Just letting the city move past him, the rain cooling his skin. He ends up on a quiet footbridge where few cars pass. Lights ripple on the water below. His phone stays in his pocket. He stands there a long time, letting the discomfort build. It's not pleasant. It's not empowering. It's just real. And maybe, he thinks, that's the point. The Stoics talk about loving fate, not just accepting what happens, but embracing it. Even the hard parts, even the ache that sits behind the ribs and refuses to budge. This is his fate right now. The longing, the not knowing, the feeling of being unseen. It's part of the fire he must walk through, not around. He writes again that night. "She owes me nothing. I owe myself everything. I don't need her reply. I need to sit in the silence and breathe." He closes the journal. It's still raining outside, but softer now. More rhythm than interruption. He lies back on his bed, eyes open, letting it fall. The notification wakes him. Just a short buzz. But Marcus knows the sound. He grabs his phone from the bedside table, eyes still adjusting to the light. It's her. "Hey, been thinking about you. Miss your energy." 7 words, that's all. Enough to ignite 100 thoughts. He doesn't reply, not yet. Instead, he sets the phone down slowly, face up this time, and stares at the ceiling. The old pattern whispers, "Respond. Now. Make it light. Make it charming. Say something that makes her feel good so she'll stay." But he doesn't move. He gets up, drinks a glass of water, stretches. Then he puts on his shoes and heads to the gym. His body feels heavy, not from fatigue but from resistance, like his emotions are clinging to his bones. At the gym, he loads weights onto the bar, sets his stance, and lifts. Each repetition pulls him back into himself. The sweat, the burn, the rhythm of breath. It all builds a wall between him and the impulse to chase. His trainer nods as he finishes a set. "You're dialed in today," he says. Marcus just nods, breath steady, heart slowing. Back home, the phone waits. Her message is still there, still unread. He showers, cooks eggs, opens letters from a Stoic, and flips until his eye catches a line. Anger, like fire, feeds on itself. He closes the book. It's not anger he feels, not quite. It's the tension beneath it, the desire for control disguised as affection. To win her back, to prove his worth, to resolve the uncertainty that gnaws at him. But he knows now. That's not love. That's attachment. That's ego. He picks up the phone, reads the message again. Then, calmly, types back. "Nice to hear from you. Hope you're doing well." No flirtation, no invitation, just warmth, contained. He sends it, feels his chest tighten, then release. Later, a friend texts, "She reached out again? Dude, you gonna play it cool or what?" Marcus smiles, not at the words, but at the difference. He doesn't need to perform anymore. He's not in a contest. He's in a practice. That evening, as he wipes down the kitchen counter and prepares tea, he feels the edges of a strange new sensation. Not pride, not power. Peace. His phone buzzes again. This time he doesn't even look. He stirs his tea, watches the steam curl upward, and whispers, "Calm is stronger than charm." Laughter echoes across the rooftop. The string lights above sway gently in the breeze. Music hums from a small speaker near the drinks table. Marcus stands with a glass in hand, surrounded by half-familiar faces, acquaintances of friends, co-workers of friends of friends. Then she appears, She floats into the circle like a breeze, effortless, magnetic. Their eyes meet. She smiles, then turns to the group. "Remember when Marcus tried to impress me with that handwritten poem?" she says, laughing. The circle erupts. Marcus smiles too, tight-lipped, heartbeat quickening. He laughs with them, just enough. But inside, something hardens. Later, in the quiet of his apartment, he replays the moment. Again and again. The smile, the mocking tone, the laughter at his expense. He stares at his reflection in the mirror, expression neutral, but shoulders slightly hunched. A posture of someone used to swallowing discomfort. He whispers aloud, "Would I let a friend talk to me like that?" The answer is immediate. No. So why her? The phone buzzes. Her again. The message reads, "Hope I didn't embarrass you tonight. You're fun." He sits down. Fingers hover over the screen. Then slowly, he begins typing. "Hey, I wanted to say, your comment tonight didn't sit right with me. I know it was a joke, but I didn't feel respected. I value kindness, even in teasing. Just wanted to be honest." He stares at the message, reads it again. His thumb hovers. The urge rises, to delete, to soften, to deflect. But he breathes once, slow and full, and hits send. The reply doesn't come quickly. When it does, it's short. "Didn't mean to upset you. Maybe I took it too far." That's it. No apology, no warmth, no laughter. But Marcus feels no panic, no need to fix it or chase it or dress it up. Instead, he slips on his coat and walks. The air is cool, the city loud with weekend energy, honking horns, fragments of music, laughter rising from balconies. But inside, he is quiet. There's no shame in drawing a line, no guilt in saying, "This is how I expect to be treated." For the first time, he understands something important. Respect isn't something you beg for. It's something you live by. At a small park bench under a flickering street lamp, he sits and exhales. He thinks of all the times he let things slide, smiled through discomfort, apologized for wanting dignity. No more. From now on, clarity is his compass. The city is loud, but inside, he is silent. The cafe hums with morning warmth, clinking cups, soft chatter, the grind of espresso. Marcus sits near the window, a book in hand, sunlight spilling across the pages. She walks in. Not her. Someone new. She's confident, measured, orders with ease, jokes with the barista. As she scans the room for a seat, their eyes meet. Just a moment. She smiles, gentle, curious. He nods back, closes his book slightly. She approaches. "Mind if I join?" He gestures to the seat across. "Please." They talk, not much. Weather, books, good coffee. Her name is Elise. Her laugh is easy, her attention full. When she gets up to leave, she touches his shoulder lightly. "Nice meeting you, Marcus." And she's gone. He watches her walk away, then opens his book again. Not to impress her, not to see if she turns back, just because he was reading, and he's still interested in what he was reading. Later that day, his phone buzzes. A message from the past. "Hey, can we talk sometime?" He stares at the words. Doesn't feel elation, doesn't feel anger, just a quiet space opening inside him. A space where need used to live. He doesn't reply. Instead, he sticks to his plan. Bookstore, tea, a walk. He lets the world move as it will. At the bookstore, he finds a slim volume titled Meditations. The cover is soft, linen-bound. He thumbs through, stops on a line. "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." He buys it without thinking. The cashier says, "Good choice." Marcus just nods. At home, he brews tea, journals again, writes about Elise, about the lightness of their talk and the difference between being open and being pulled. He doesn't try to read into the message from the past, doesn't assign it meaning. Some things come back. That doesn't mean you must receive them the same way. He sets the phone on the table, face down, then sits in stillness, hands wrapped around the warm mug. Steam rises slowly into the late afternoon light. Snow falls in slow spirals. Marcus walks alone, boots pressing soft indentations into the fresh white. There's no urgency in his step, just pace, just breath. The world is hushed, like it's pausing with him. He reaches his building, steps inside, and shakes the snow from his coat. Upstairs, the apartment is still. A candle flickers on the windowsill, its flame steady, unbothered. He makes coffee slowly, rinsing the cup, grinding the beans, pouring with deliberate care. The smell fills the space. On the table sits his journal. He opens it, flipping back to a page from months ago. A line written in hurried script. "She owes me nothing. I owe myself everything." He closes the journal and lets the echo of those words rest in the silence. His phone lights up. Another message. "I've been thinking a lot. I'm sorry for the way I treated you." He reads it once, then again. No anger rises, no surge of emotion. Just a soft recognition of the moment, of how far he's come. He replies, "Thank you. I wish you well too." That's it. No deeper dive. No reopening of doors already closed with peace. Virtue asks for no reward. He stands by the window, cup in hand, watching the snowfall. There's no longing, no ache. Not because he stopped caring, but because he started living by different measures. Love, when it returns, must meet him on this ground. Not the ground of need, but of wholeness. He takes a slow sip. The candle beside him dances quietly. Some things you no longer chase. They arrive when you no longer need them. Snow still touched the windowsill that evening, but the candle inside did not flicker. It held its shape, steady, sure, its quiet flame undisturbed by whatever passed beyond the glass. Even in stillness, strength endures. Not through striving or proving, but by returning, again and again, to the place where you choose how to live. Perhaps today is not about who responds, who notices, or who stays. Perhaps today is simply a chance to carry your own light, no matter the weather outside.